Alright everyone, so this is pretty much the finished product of how I am leaving my folder. I'm also going to be eventually attaching a piece of plastic over in this area over here once it's dry, and it's going to be something where you can replace what you put inside it. So say for example, you're going to make this folder for your math or science class or something like that. Then I'm going to have a index card with a piece of plastic glued to the side of it. I'll show you that whole process as we once this is all dried and stuff like that. But this is pretty much done. And you know, if you later, once it's dry, you realize, oh my goodness, I missed some areas or some spots or whatever, you can always go back. Or if you like the way that looks, that's fine too. You can see I'm allowing paint to drip into different areas and things like that. Oh, and please note that because this is a cheaper folder, it was only 15 cents, this was made of paper, so it is going to curl, and that's normal. But the nice thing about this paint is that it actually thickens it once it dries, and that's a good thing because it'll actually make your folder a little bit more longer lasting. So I'm just gonna, I see there's some spots that I've missed. I'm gonna just take little bits of paint where I see that needs it. So it looks like this could use some paint right here. Oh, and this section right here. And rather than blending it, I'm just gonna grab a little paint from over here and just go over it like that. So yeah, and anytime you do this technique, as long as you're happy with it, then you did an incredible job. So I've made these folders quite a bit of times. I did it while I was in college. I was very pleased with it. I still have every single one of them. You know, just like any other folder, even with the paint on there, eventually there will be a little bit of wear and tear, but basically how I've dealt with it was I would slowly but surely add plastic, well, not plastic, just, you know, the wrapping tape that you use for when you pack and stuff like that, the heavy duty tape. That's the stuff I would use to cover the edges to help keep it in better condition. The worst that I've seen though happen in my folders before I try to protect it with that sort of thing was like the corners would get all fuzzy from the card, like it'll look kind of cardboardish, you know, like fuzzy cardboard. So I believe I've covered all the areas of my folder here. I don't think anything else needs covered. I'm pretty happy with that. So again, mine, I'm actually, if you're planning on adding any embellishments, now is a good time to do so. If you like it the way it is, you certainly can leave it this way and then watch the next part of this video to see how to make it so that you can reuse it every year. I already pre-made or pre-painted these, like, I think 2 years ago. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a big Harry Potter fan, to the point of, well, I don't reread the books. I've probably read the first 3 books a couple of times, but I haven't read all the books many times like most other big-time fans. I basically am a fan of the stories, so if you were to ask me to do a trivia, that wouldn't work out too well. And anyway, I'm just a big fan of the stories, so I actually painted the main trio, Hermione, Ron, and Harry, and I'm going to show you, 1 second here. So I'm going to set this aside. I'll just do that. So here I have Ron, Hermione, and Harry. If you're interested in knowing how I painted these, I'd be happy to share. At this time, I'm not going to be able to make a video of it, but I painted these on a piece of cardboard and then allowed it to dry, and then I cut them out by hand. And now they're nice and flat. So now that my folder is drying, I'm actually going to, while paint is wet, it actually serves as a dual purpose in a sense. Like, not only is it giving your folder a cool color, it's also good to be used as a glue. So if you wanted to do a fan folder of a sort, you can make yours with, you could do Frozen, you can do like Frozen characters, you could do Minions, you can do whatever you want. you don't even have to know how to paint. If you don't have time to paint these characters, you could simply just print out an image in color, and then you can take a piece of foam. Any color is fine. I have pink, and you can see I'm still working on my minion one. But you could take a piece of foam, glue it with Mod Podge, and then put a matte finish of Mod Podge on top. And then you're going to want to cut it out. And before your folder dries, you're going to insert it into the wet folder. So that's the best time, because then it's part of the folder, and then you can do a clear finish over the folder, and it's really permanent, and it'll look nice too. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that with this folder. So it's up to you. This is, you know, a completely, you know, it's all up to you how you want to insert this into the folder. It helps if it has the more paint it has, kind of the better. If you want to experiment first before you do it to your folder, that's also fine. I think for my folder, I'd like to have them, well, the front of my folder is actually kind of curved at the moment, so that's going to make it kind of difficult, but I think I'm going to try and put them all in the same spot. The only thing is that because this is curving, and I'm going to have something over here with like the different, you know, class or whatever the case is, I'm actually going to put mine on the back, and I'm okay with that. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. If you want it on the front, yours is probably going to be flatter and your paint's not going to droop over them, which is basically what I want to avoid. I'm going to actually put them over here on this side. I'm only going to press just a little bit. And there's no rhyme or reason. If they get a little covered in paint, that's not that bad, as long as you can still see your characters. That's really what's more important. So there's my 3 characters. And I purposely wanted these colors so that you can see them. I could have chosen Gryffindor colors like red and gold and then painted the whole thing red and gold. But the problem with that is that I feel that basically Ron's hair would be hard to see. So I'm actually not doing that. And I don't know if you could see the details that I did in the paint job of their hairs, but I basically tried to make it look like you could see the highlights and the different strands of hair in all 3 of them. Ron's was a little bit more difficult. I don't know why it wasn't coming out so well, but you get the basic gist of it. And anyhow, there's my 3 characters. So yeah, so allow this to dry overnight, and when we come back, I will show you what it looks like once dried and how to make this a permanent folder that will last for a good long time. Alright, thanks.